I really enjoy knowing how things work. This is a 3-inch grinder from Harbor Freight, just a cheapo grinder. And you may have wondered how this thing works, you know, how the air vane motor in it works and how it spins so fast, or just how it all works generally. And I wondered the same thing. I even searched it on YouTube and found some videos that were really neat and explained it really well, but I like to go a little bit more in depth and kind of show you guys, maybe blow some air through it and see how it works or how it even shows up on camera. But first, just there's a thing that keeps this held on the top. I have loosened it already. I don't even really have a socket that big, but I just used some vice grips to get it loose. It was no big deal. But you just loosen it up. Then this whole top comes off. The cap, spring, it's a spring washer on top, and then the guard comes off with it. And this is basically the housing that the motor sits down into, and it just pulls right out, and that's the motor. It's really not very complex. You can see down in there's some holes for the very bottom one. The smallest hole is where the air enters, and then the side ones are where it exits. Those are the exhaust ports. So I thought I'd put this motor in a vise and kind of blow some air through it, see and show you guys. Some parts of this metal are a little bit more hard than others, so you don't really want to crank it down into the vise, just hold it in place for fear that you might bend something. And especially with these housings are super soft. So if you start putting that in a vise to maybe get the cap off, you want to be careful, because you might end up bending this housing and then not being able to get the motor back in. So that's just kind of a walkthrough right now, and but I'll blow some air through it, kind of show you guys how it operates and all that. But this is the inlet where it goes in, and these are the exhaust ports where it comes out. There's a groove right there where when the air pushes through the motor, it starts spinning that tumbler in there, and then pushes these fiber plates out and against the housing, which then forms, you know, sort of like with water and a windmill, or a water mill, where the water pushes through against those planks and then creates the movement. And that's what is happening here, just a lot faster because of the compressed air that is being forced through this motor. And it's really just extremely simple. It's not that complicated, but just to see it work is actually kind of cool, how fast this thing actually moves. So that's how it all works. It's all back together and tightened up on the top real good, and now ready for use.